Hello, YouTube. It's been a while, but it's Zia, and I'm supposed to be writing my final that's due uh, next Tuesday. But I had a thought, and I just wanted to get it out there. And I know some people may not agree with what I'm saying, and they'll fight it and know you're wrong, you don't know what you're talking about, and all that good stuff. And so I had a conversation with someone on Twitter about what hip hop is. We were in disagreement about it, but I'll go with his theory or his explanation and definition of what it is, which is hip hop is whatever rap is. Whatever people are rapping about, that's hip hop. I don't agree with that, but I'll just go with that. And to go with what Nas says, that would really mean that hip hop is dead. Like I don't care what Lil Wayne says, I am hip hop. If that is true, hip hop is dead. Now, before some people get upset and, whatever they're going through or want to yell at me about, again, hear me out. When you listen to Lil Wayne's music, what is he talking about? That's what I want you to think about. Like, I enjoy Lil Wayne, but I enjoy him in a way that is for entertainment purposes only. You can listen to music and get something from it. Like, it could touch you in a way that you never even realized. Like, it can really have an impact on you. When you listen to Lil Wayne, what is he talking about? And I had to point this out to my sister a couple days ago, and I point this out to a lot of people. But we were talking today, and she said, "You know what? You're right. Like when you listen to Drake, I enjoy him too. Like I like Drake a lot, but Drake doesn't talk about anything. He talks about the same exact things, but he really doesn't talk about anything important. Just listen to Drake's lyrics, and you'll see that he's talking about how people didn't believe in him, and he here now, and he's the best, and he's this and that, and how he can get your girl, and just all that good stuff. But there's really not a lot of topics that he talks about. He may change it up here and there, but he's not as far as I don't want to say quality in terms of like he's a bad rapper because he's very creative. He knows how to use different things in his music. But if you're talking about hip hop in a way of you're talking about your community, like a tribe called Quest, or there's some other people that I can't think of now because I'm just doing this off the top of my head. When you think about the rappers that really touch the community, like people who really relate to it. Not in a way of someone's talking about drug dealing and shooting, but when they talk about problems in the community and that way, or problems in the world and people relate to that, that's what I'm talking about. Drake doesn't talk about that. And not to say he has to, but if you go with the theory of what Drake and Lil Wayne and other rappers like them, if you go with theories of hip hop being whatever rappers are talking about now, then hip hop is dead. Like Tupac, he didn't always talk about stuff. He may talk about his old life or having sex with girls, but when you think of one of the greatest Tupac songs ever, or the most played, most popular, they think of "Keep Your Head Up," and that was talking about what went on in the community. And there's dozens and hundreds of other rappers who do talk about something, but again, this is off the top of my head. So that being said, is that I don't want people to get upset and offended when their favorite rapper is criticized. It's just you gotta realize what you're listening to, and just take a step back and think about like, yeah, you know what, this person isn't talking about much of anything. Doesn't mean I can't enjoy this person. It just means that they're not as deep or deep like I thought they were. And even with Nicki Minaj, like I have my or I had my problem with her. I really don't anymore because I learned her trick, which was put sex out there in a mixtape and then take it back when she actually releases something. But even with her, like I listen to her songs and like, yeah, it's inspiration in a way, like follow your dreams and live for today and all that good stuff. But what is she talking about? Like really? And people go up and down and defend it. But I think most people over time, when they actually listen to this music, they realize, okay, yeah, this is not about anything. It really isn't. You can go back and be entertained by something. That's no problem. You can still enjoy the music, but it doesn't have to have meaning like people try to put on it, and I guess they try to justify their liking the music by saying, "Oh yeah, um, this means this and that." Like, you don't have to do it. You don't have to try to justify what you like by trying to make it deep or deeper than what it really is. And an example I used with someone was, I believe it was Jaquan, and he came out with that song "Tipsy," and I had it on my iPod, and the girl was like, "Why are you still listening to this?" And I was like, "Cause I like it. I mean, the song may suck, but I like the song." and it's like one of those things, like in the moment and that time when that song came out, it was popular. Everyone was listening to the song, but a couple years later, no one wants to admit to listening to certain music, and I feel like that's kind of how some of these artists are. Like, they're in, this is their time. They have to make it the best they can make it, and after that, they're gone. Like, there's a lot of artists who were popular during their time and everyone loved them, and then after they left, it was just like, I don't listen to that person. And one of the main examples I give is Ice Ice Baby by Vanilla Ice. People loved that song during the time, and then 10, 15 years later, people are like, I can't believe I listened to that. I can't believe that was so popular. Because popular doesn't always mean it's good, it just means it's popular, you know? So, I just want people to think about that. Like, not to say you can't like these artists, you have to like what I like. Because again, I really don't care for Nicki Minaj. I'm neutral. I don't dislike her anymore. But with Drake and Lil Wayne, these are just my examples because I was listening to them before I made this video, and I was listening to them in the car earlier because my sister was playing them, and we had a conversation about them. But when you think about it, they really aren't talking about much of anything. And I guess that's, and the reason I say that is because rap really gets ridiculed about the subject matter in which they talk about. And these two are very popular, very influential, especially Lil Wayne. People will buy his stuff without even listening to a single. That's how popular he is. And a lot of people do not like his latest album. And that's to show you that you don't need, once you get that popular, you don't need to have people sample your music just to buy it. They'll buy it just because of your name, which is the reason I'm saying that is because people are like, oh, he has these big numbers. That doesn't always mean anything. So that being said, I just wish people would really think about what they listen to instead of trying to validate everything with numbers. Because sometimes that works for you and work against you, but I think everything is neutral. So numbers are neutral unless they are applied correctly. Rapper, for example, Wiz Khalifa. Somebody wanted to say he was the worst rapper ever, or one of them, and that's their opinion. But with Khalifa, I never took him seriously as a rapper. He was just someone to entertain me. He's not necessarily a bad rapper. I wouldn't go that far to say that. Someone who I will say, and again, I don't care what whoever is watching this video has to say about this. Someone who I will hands down say and defend until the day I die at this moment is a bad rapper is Lil B. I am not taking that back unless he shows me why I should. And he doesn't have to do it for me specifically, but unless he changes his method in which he raps, he is a bad rapper. Point blank. There's no change in that if he keeps on the road he is keeping on. That's all I gotta say about that person. But yeah, that's just how I feel about the situation. As someone who listens to rap regularly and enjoys it, just the music in general. Just because you like someone, it doesn't mean they are good. It doesn't mean they're bad, but it just means um, we have to. When you actually listen, you have to listen to it. You have to really. I mean, if you're that kind of person, if you're like someone who likes deep music, then yeah. But if you're someone who just listens to music and you don't really give it a thought, you can't really say, "Oh yeah, this is the deepest artist ever. He really talks about something." No, if you're just listening to it, listen to it. But if he or she is truly bad or not deep at all, then admit to that. It doesn't take away your enjoyment of it. Maybe it does for you, not for me. But yeah, this went on too long. I do like that sometimes. All right, bye.